Most hosts think that if their cleaner did a good job, the property is ready for their next guest.
But that's actually where a lot of 5-star reviews are lost.
Because clean doesn't mean guest ready. And relying on one person to do both, it is where the small details really start slipping.
We've hosted tens of thousands of guests. We manage multiple properties. And this is one of the systems that protects our reviews across every stay.
Hi, I'm Sarah Karakayan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are...
Thanks for visiting. We've spent over a decade actively hosting, built a multi-million-dollar rental portfolio, and helped over 1,000 hosts grow more profitable businesses, collectively generating over $2 million in bookings every single month. Our mission is simple: to be the #1 resource for hosts who want to build real wealth through short-term rentals.
Today, we're walking you through our exact pre-arrival inspection checklist.
And by the end, you'll know exactly how to implement this in your own business so you stop missing the details that cost you reviews. Let's separate something most hosts combine: cleaning and inspecting.
Your cleaner is responsible for executing the clean. That is a critical role.
But once the clean is done, there is still a second job, everyone: making sure the home is actually ready for the guest.
That's where the inspector comes in. This is our secret weapon. They verify the clean. They catch anything that was missed during that very hard-working clean that took place. They're going to stage the home and make sure everything functions properly.
Most missed details don't happen because someone didn't care.
They happen because one role was asked to do way too much.
This is the shift from hoping everything is ready to having a system that proves it is.
And once you see this, it's hard to unsee.
You'll never go back.
Because the next step is what actually creates that 5-star consistency. And inside our business, the inspector is a separate, defined role from the cleaner. So with the inspector role, the crossing the fingers are no longer taking place after your cleaner leaves and your guest checks in. Because
they are focused on these things: safety, accuracy, presentation, and then functionality of everything in the home, so that you're not relying on your guests to tell you if something's broke. I mean, they're paying for the stay. That's not their job.
The inspector walks every property after every turnover before the next guest checks in. They are checking the work of the cleaner. They are staging the space just like you like it, solving any small issues on the spot. Without this role, this is where most hosts stay reactive.
Yes, so when you have your inspector, you're going to equip them with a small kit, okay? We call this our inspector kit. You can call it whatever you want. And I arm them with a lint roller, an Allen wrench, tightening the furniture in your home. Today's furniture is not like, unless you've got a bunch of really high quality antiques in your home, I mean, you know how it is. And those things, that they get loose, and if someone sits down in a chair, that's a liability. So tightening your furniture frequently is important. Extra supplies, light bulbs, batteries, magic erasers, I mean, you name it. And what you can do is you can make this kit your own and arm your inspector, or ask them to arm themselves with this kit so they have everything they need. I got one of those little carrying cases, and everything that they need to make sure the home is absolutely perfect for guest check-in is on their arm. It's on their person, ready to execute.
Because without this role, you're then relying on guests to tell you what's wrong.
Okay, if you're watching this and realizing that you need to hire an inspector,
you're in luck, because we have linked our independent contractor template below for you.
Yeah, use our independent contractor template to set up the role correctly from day one, with clear expectations, a clear scope of work, so that there is no confusion and you can start that relationship off on the right foot.
Okay, let's walk through the actual checklist.
Obviously, when you create your own inspector checklist, you tailor this to your own property and the way you like things, or the way you know your guest likes things and prefers things, okay? When the inspector walks in, they get a different perspective than the cleaner. When the cleaner walked in, everything was everywhere, right? I say that they walk into this mountain and they have to get it back to, that foundation level of being almost guest ready. When the inspector walks in, they see that calm. They see that readiness, and so now they have a clearer view of all the details. So once the clean is done and the inspector goes in, they can start staging. So they are lint rolling the beds. They are tightening the linens. Now, my cleaner does a great job. She makes a bed perfect, but my inspector also just goes through, makes sure the pillows haven't slumped over. They're fluffing the pillows. They're checking for dust, hair, anything amiss, because remember, they're coming into an already clean place. Their eyes can see those details.
Because this is your first impression moment. It should feel crisp and intentional the second that guest walks in, like they're the first one to stay in your home. Next up, we're gonna go to the kitchen and the supplies. So we are gonna open the refrigerator and the freezer. We're checking for anything that was left behind at all. We're gonna be restocking the coffee, your decaf coffee. Yes, you better have decaf too. Your creamers, your sugars, any dishwashing pods, your trash bags, paper towels, fresh sponge. Make sure all the dish towels and your oven mitts are clean. Pet peeve. Checking in and the oven mitts are dirty. It's disgusting.
I also, in the kitchen, the inspector can go in and have the mugs all facing the right way. They can put the jet dry, what is that? What is the name of it in the dishwasher? That like solution that you put in so there aren't spots on the dishwasher. Like that kind of stuff. If your cleaner is a good cleaner, they have other homes to clean. They've got a rockin' business, okay? So they may not have time for those fine-tuned details, and making sure the kitchen is crisp and clean and ready for your guests to rock out whatever meal they want to rock out is going to lead to more 5-star reviews.
And opening the drawers that have your utensils in it, making sure that wine key is in there, making sure all of the utensils are in there. Every detail matters.
Today's day and age with short-term rentals, it's not like it was during the Airbnb gold rush of like 2021 to 2023, okay? These days, missing basics immediately impacts trust with your guest, which is why this inspector role will absolutely pay itself and then 10x your value, your perceived value of your property, because you're going to be able to take it to the next level and be the cream of the crop in your marketplace. Okay, let's move on to the bathroom. So in the bathroom, we're going to check to make sure that we have fresh folded towels, okay? You're going to make sure that the toiletries are all stocked, no hair, no residue, no water spots on your shower curtain or your shower doors. You're going to make sure that all of the toiletries are filled to the top. I hate it when I go into a short-term rental and like the shampoo is like 3/4 of the way down. First of all, it makes me think, okay, someone else that I don't know was in the shower. Obviously that's true, but I don't want to think about that. So whether you give the travel size, a fresh travel size to your guests, or you refill your toiletries, make sure they're filled all the way and they're all wiped down so that they are clean and they don't have soap dripping from them. And that is something your inspector can help you with.
And bathrooms are one of the fastest ways to lose a 5-star review. Next and most critical are the safety checks. This is the backbone of how we operate at Thanks for Visiting. We are testing smoke detectors each and every stay.
Every time.
Checking the fire extinguisher charge. Confirming doors and windows are all locked properly, and making sure the smart lock is not only working, but has extra battery.
So you're starting to get the idea here. So obviously we're gonna do the same thing in the bedroom. We're gonna open up every drawer. We're gonna look under the bed. We're gonna make sure all the hangers are staged and facing the same way. These details matter. If you have any other rooms in your home, you will develop your own inspection checklist for those areas, outdoor areas. If they have access to your basement, making sure that you don't have a creepy, crawly basement, right? If there's the washing machine down there, Annette and I own a townhome together, I make sure that that basement is well lit and it is dusted and cleaned so that the guests can actually do their laundry down there, which is an amenity that we offer, and feel comfortable doing it. So the inspection checklist is not just a box to check. It is your responsibility as an operator to make sure, yes, the home is clean and the details are there, but like Annette was just sharing with you, all the safety elements have been checked for your guest, okay? Once all that is done, your inspector can then do a full functional walkthrough of the home. So they're checking lights and light bulbs, the appliances, right? Is the ice maker working? Is the fridge on? If it's wintertime, is the heat at an appropriate level? If it's summer, is the AC kicking? Is the Wi-Fi working? I'll also have them turn on the TV, check to make sure we offer Netflix as one of our amenities. If the Netflix starts, that means the Wi-Fi is operational too. We don't have any issues there. Now, obviously, things can happen between the inspector leaving and the guest arriving, but that is why we do the inspection before guest arrival, to minimize that. You don't want the inspector coming in and then having all these days where there's no guests there. So if you're in your slower season, you might even want to come back and make sure nothing has happened during vacancy.
So anything a guest might try to use, we test it before they do. And if your property does have additional amenities, those need to be a part of your inspection checklist too. We're checking, is the hot tub clean? Is it heated? Is it locked? Is it ready to go? Is the fire pit stocked and safe? Outdoor spaces, are they clear of debris? Is the furniture clean? Is it positioned properly?
I will say that is one thing that even top hosts let slide is the outdoor area. We'll check into these really well-reviewed homes, and the outdoor area has like leaves all piled up in the corner, and you can tell that the seats haven't been wiped down and how long. So if you're gonna be top tier, right? And have every detail attended to before that guest check-in. Okay, so and then finally, what the inspector can do for you is really earn you additional revenue, additional perceived value, and repeat guest. And that is the final guest-ready touches, like a welcome card, not only with the guest name handwritten on there, but something about their stay that is unique to why they're coming. So for my team, it's not just like this pre-written note and we just write Susie at the top. No, it's like, Susie, we're so excited for you to come into town and visit your daughter at OSU. If you need any recommendations for you guys to have a lunch together this weekend, let us know. We'd be happy to help. Right, like that. Now I'm like getting my guests' attention, and they can see that I really care about their stay. I also like our inspectors to set our lights intentionally. So whether the guest is arriving late at night or not, we put on a light outside so that when they walk to the front door, they have a well-lit pathway. And then think, when they're in the home, that's their first time in the home. They don't know where the light switch is. So give them a pathway to not hurt themselves, but also it sets the mood. It looks cozy, it feels good. You want to make sure the home feels ready, not just clean.
And this is where hospitality really, really shows up.
Yeah, none of these are big things on their own.
But together, they're what separate a 4-star stay from a 5-star one.
I will argue a 5-star stay from a 5-star repeat guest, or a 5-star guest who refers you out to all of their friends. This is where most hosts realize they weren't missing one big thing. You're just missing 10 small ones, right? They all add up, right? Most bad reviews, they don't necessarily come from like giant issues.
They come from something missing, something not working, something that was simply overlooked.
Or if like one small thing happens right when they check in, then every other small thing compounds. And then, hopefully one big thing does happen, but if it does, you're really cooked, right? This system removes that.
It replaces that guessing with a repeatable process.
And that's what creates consistency across every stay. So now you know what to check and how to structure it.
But this is just one piece of running a professional hosting business.
Inside our coaching program, Strategic Host, we help you build your full system, your pricing, your operations, your guest experience, your direct booking website. So you're not reacting, you're making decisions with clarity.
And if you're ready for that, just click the link in the show notes. You'll answer a few quick questions so we can understand your business. And if it's a good fit, we'll reach out to connect. Tell us in the comments, do you currently have an inspection process, or is this something you need to build?
And if you want to go deeper on preventing guest complaints, check out our video on guest messaging. We give you the exact scripts that you can just copy. With that, I am Sarah Karakayan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are
Thanks for visiting.